Hello, welcome again to my video tutorial YouTube can sew. If you're watching me for the first time, I'd like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. I'll keep uploading new videos on how you too can sew. So today we're going to be learning how to take basic measurements. Well, I get a lot of calls. Please send me my measurements. I need to send it somewhere, and all that. You don't have to do all that, seriously, because it's very easy to take your measurements yourself. So if you want to know how to take your measurements, definitely keep watching. Okay, what we need for a basic measurement, to take your measurements, you actually need a tape, sewing measurement tape, you need a pen, and definitely you need a paper or a book or whatever to write the figures, what you've got in here. So before we start, the first thing we need to do is to take our horizontal measurements, and then you move into the vertical measurements, and then the round measurements, and then the sleeve measurements. Well, it sounds like a whole lot, but it actually isn't. It's really easy. So if you're ready, let's start. Now you have to note your measurements, what you need to take, and the first place we're going to take, or the first measurement, is the shoulder measurement. Now I'll show you how to take the shoulder measurement. If you're taking it for yourself and you don't have anybody helping you, what you need to do is to place your tape on one side of the shoulder through the back, on one side of the shoulder bone to the other side. Whatever you get there is your shoulder measurement. You just pull out the tape and then you look at it. I'm using inches for my measurement, and then we have 16 inches here. So for the shoulder, you just note down 16 inches. Okay, then we'll move down to take our vertical measurements. For your vertical measurements, you place the measuring tape halfway by the midpoints, just like what I've done here. And then you take your breast point. Your breast point is the highest point, of your bust, of your breast line, somewhere around where the nipple is. So you take your breast point measurement. From your breast point measurement, mine is 11, you move down to your waist point measurement. Your waist point measurement is below your bust line, just below your bust line. You move down to your waist point measurement. Mine is 15. After you've gotten your waist point measurement, you now take your hip point. Your hip point, you have to take it from the back, So you place your tape on your shoulder, and then you just move it down gradually to the highest point of your hip. So somewhere around there is your hip point measurement. So mine is 23, and then you note that down from the bust point to the waist point, and then to the hip point. Now you can also take your full length, or whatever length of your, you want to take, wherever your dress is going to stop, so you can take your full length measurement. So you place your tape once again from your shoulder all the way to wherever you want your dress to stop. Now you don't have to bend down all the way to take your measurement, because that's not going to work. So what you need to do is to take it halfway, wherever your arm can stop, or wherever your arm can get to. Then that way you can follow down to your knee, straight up and down to the floor, if you're taking your full length measurement. That way you can get exactly what your full length is. After taking your vertical measurements, now you move on to taking your round measurements. That's the round circumference of your body. So we're going to take the bust measurement, bust round measurements. and that is round your bust. You just take your measurement, your tape all the way around, and make sure you get exactly what your bust measurement is. Now you're not going to pull it so it gets too tight, and you're not going to, you just take exactly, make sure you're wearing a regular bra like you always wear. Make sure also that your tape is high up there, and that's the only way you can get your exact measurements. So you take your bust measurements. Next we're going to take our waist round measurements. That's our waist circumference. You just go below your bust. Now your waist measurements, it's below your bust, the smallest part of your waist where you have the crease. If you do this, you see where the crease is. That's your waist measurement, the smallest part of your waist. So you can just take that. After you've taken your waist measurement, then you move down to your hip. Your hip measurement is where the highest point of your hip is. So you take that and make sure it's not too tight as well. Then after taking that, well, we'll move now to the sleeve measurement. When you're taking the sleeve measurement, you have to start taking from the arm round, like the round of your sleeve, or sleeve round, or round sleeve, or whatever you decide to call it. The round is also somewhere here, high up here. That measurement is very important to get a very good sleeve. Mine is 11. After taking your arm round measurement, you take your armhole. Your armhole measurement is important as well, so you don't end up making a dress and the sleeve is too tight. When you raise your hand up, it's very tight, it can rip off the seam. So you have to be careful in taking that. It's just round your arm, and for you to make a good pattern as well, you need this measurement to be accurate. Sleeve, so round your sleeve like this is your arm round measurement. Now you take the length of your sleeve, so sleeve length measurement from your shoulder bone. So whatever, this is very tricky to take it yourself, it's really tricky. So I just do this from your shoulder bone to wherever you want it to be, whatever sleeve length you want. So this is 13 inches, and I think this is just fine for me. And then finally you take your sleeve opening. So this way, this is where my sleeve, I want it to end, and the opening of my sleeve, I can take the measurement. If you want it bigger, if you want it really big, and if you want it really big, if you're making very big flare, whatever it is you're making, just make sure you take the measurements to give you a very good sleeve. Okay, if you've done that, we're almost done. You can take your neck depth measurement. Neck depth is how far you want the neck opening to be or to go. You know, whatever length it is, you want it to be 8 inches, 10 inches, 9 inches, however deep you want your neck opening to be. And then you can also take the back neck measurements as well, you know, which you just do it the same way from the neck bone. Place your arm to wherever you want it to be, whatever you want to be. You can just put your arm there and hold it, and then you can get the measurement. This is 8 inches. Okay, for the neck back measurement. Well, if you've done that, that is how to take your measurement yourself basically. But taking your measurement yourself isn't so easy. So you can get somebody to do it for you, or you can, if you're learning to sew and you're making clothes for people, taking measurements is very important. So you can do it for somebody. I'm going to use this as my model. So you stand at the back of the person and take the shoulder measurement. That's the first measurement I told you. Shoulder measurement from behind the person. When you've gotten that, you come to the front and take the bust point measurement. This is 10 inches. Waist point measurement, this is about 14 inches. 14 inches. And then you take from behind as well the hip point measurement from behind to the highest point of the hip. And you just continue with the round measurements the same way I told you. The round measurements. Make sure your tape is placed correctly. Make sure it's placed correctly like this. And make sure it's not too tight. Make sure it's not too tight. Make sure it's not loose. To get a perfect measurement is key in making a very good dress. So that's your bust point measurement. And then we'll also take the waist point measurement. Sorry, round waist measurement, not waist point. Round measurement, that's your waist circumference. So this is 27. Not too tight. You don't wear a dress that is very something that is easy and you can, something light, so you can get the accurate measurements. And then round the hips as well. Round the hips. The highest point of the hip is your hip circumference, your hip measurements. And then you continue with the sleeve like I showed you, and the neck opening. The neck opening. Front neck opening, and also the back neck opening. So that's how to take your basic body measurements. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. Please, if you enjoyed it, do not forget to give me a thumbs up. Follow me on social media. My social media handle is at the description box below as well. Please feel free to share this video. You can comment and ask questions, whatever you need to know. I'll reply and answer your questions. Please do not forget also that you too can. So until I come your way next time, have a nice day. Bye bye.